So the CEO of Anthropic, a guy named Dario Amodei, recently made a prediction that within 4 or 5 years, AI will have replaced more than 50% of all white-collar labor. And, as an AI CEO, I have to tell you all, never trust any of our predictions. We're all constantly talking our book, but let's humor Dario for just a minute and imagine what it would be like if his prediction actually were true. Some people predict that that would lead to mass unemployment. I think that this is a very silly fear because human desires and human wants are infinite, and therefore we always find new things for people to do. And I think an analogous situation that we might look at is the agricultural revolution. If you go back in time a few hundred years, over 98% of human beings were engaged in backbreaking agricultural labor. That was what everybody did. And then you go forward a few hundred years and close to 0% of people are doing that. And we did not get mass unemployment. We found lots and lots of other things for those people to do. So does that mean there's not a problem? No, it does not mean there's not a problem. It means the problem is more insidious. Because what did happen is people got fat, right? People got weak. Because when you are doing backbreaking agricultural labor all the time, you are necessarily training and using this instrument that God has given us, which is our physical bodies, and that gets us into shape, and it is good for a human being to be in shape. Now, the trouble with AI, and this is true, by the way, even if, I can argue with the university president later about whether it's really intelligent, but even if it's not actually intelligent, it does a very good simulacrum of intelligence, and it's very, very tempting to use it to substitute for human intelligence. And it's very possible that we're entering a world where very soon any kind of cognitive labor, any kind of reason, any kind of thought will be a luxury, or an affectation, or an idiosyncrasy. It'll be a thing that weirdos do, just like today weirdos go to the gym and get in shape. And I think that that is actually a very terrifying world, and it's actually a world that we're already heading into. The very simple, very primitive AI models for today are already apparently such a temptation for people that you have everyone from federal judges to extremely well-known journalists copying and pasting their outputs. And
he's talking about David Brooks.
I'm not talking about you. That's right.
I'll be available for confession after this panel.
Or consider homework, right? It has always been hard to explain to your kids why they need to do their homework. I assure you, it is much harder today when they can get ChatGPT to answer their homework question, and when they have a sneaking suspicion that their teacher is using ChatGPT to grade their homework assignment as well. So we need to make a pitch, right, that you should use your brain, even if it seems like an archaic, weird, idiosyncratic thing to do, because it is doing something to you. It's not about the product you're creating. It's about the inner transformation. Just like you go to the gym for an inner transformation, not because it's intrinsically good to move that weight around. And I think, this cognitive substitution, as opposed to mechanical substitution, much more directly attacks one of the ways in which we're all made in the image of God. And I think that, having a proper response to this is going to take a lot of work.